Hi, I'm here with Graham Eatough, who is the writer and director of Shattered Head, one of our co-productions with the Travers this season. Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about Shattered Head, about the play and where the idea came from?
Yeah, well, it's I should own up. It's not my idea originally. It's Maggie Rose's idea. She is a dramaturg and teacher at the University of Milan, and she's had this long-standing interest in the Edinburgh-born artist Edoardo Paolozzi, and the play is about his life and work. And she first approached me with the idea of making a show about it, and a couple of years ago actually, and since then we've developed the ideas that have been realised in Shattered Head. So it's a show that has two kind of time frames. One is the present of the play, which is a period in Paolozzi's life when he had suffered quite a severe stroke and ended up in a nursing home. And it's about his attempts to recover from the stroke and to regain both his language skills, but also his sort of physical abilities as well. That's one time frame. The other time frame is when he was kind of at the peak of his powers, I suppose, and when he was just starting to become extremely well known as an artist towards the end of the 60s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of about these two periods of his life, and the play tries to find some connections between these two seemingly quite disparate periods of his life.
Yeah. And he had an interesting life as well, being an Italian immigrant.
Yeah. I suppose that's a big part of his story, and the story we've chosen to tell. Yeah. He started off fairly, I suppose, humble beginnings as part of the Edinburgh Italian community, and then that community had a really difficult, terrible time during the war because the men were either interned in prisons in the UK or deported. And that was an experience that he and his family had that we refer to in the play. So he made this incredible transition really from being, I suppose, an undesirable alien. I mean, that's what they were. Even though they were born here, I mean, he was born here, you know, very important members of the community. However, because of their Italian origins, they were rounded up, and so from being an undesirable alien right through to being Sir Edoardo, this establishment figure. So that journey is a very significant one for him, and one that we've tried to look at, and the tensions that come out of that are ones that we've tried to draw out in the play. I suppose the kind of central parallel in the show really is between him trying to recover in the present after his stroke and trying to put together again the bits of his brain that aren't connecting, having suffered a stroke, reconnecting images with words, ideas, and his technique, his creative techniques as a sort of collage artist and an artist who used lots of different images, seemingly disparate, seemingly unrelated, to make work, to make coherent works. So that was the kind of parallel we're drawing out. That the story of him as a son of Italian immigrants, and that journey through the war to being Sir Edoardo, that's one of the other main stories that we tell.
Yeah. Tell us a bit, because obviously you were involved in the writing of the play with Maggie, as well as being the director. Is this something you've done a lot before, or have you, I mean, because obviously you've got great career as a director, have you done a lot of writing and directing, or how do you find it?
It's different, definitely. I mean, I've done bits of writing for various things in the past. This feels like the most sort of, in terms of process, the most conventionally written thing that I've done, because I suppose the other things have been me as a director working with a writer and having input into that. But I suppose it's quite terrifying really, because you don't have the you're sort of in both headspaces at the same time, and they're quite different. You know, like as a director, you get to have a critical distance from the writing and to think, wow, that's a bit weak. We need to do something with that. Well, that's brilliantly strong, and we could. Whereas when you're the writer and director, I suppose it's hard to separate those two functions. You know. So yeah, it's quite scary, but really interesting. And I suppose it's quite useful having an idea as you're writing it
of how it's going to.
Yeah, and sort of building that in to the writing and making allowances in the writing for the directing is quite an interesting process. I mean, I don't know how that'll turn out, but that's what I've tried to do.
So, Shattered Head's got a cast of 3.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about the cast? Some of them worked at Oramore before, and
yeah, they're all kind of Oramore regulars, really. Louise Ludgate, who I've worked with a lot with Suspect Culture, she plays 4 different roles in one show in 50 minutes. So she's got her work cut out and some fairly rapid costume changes. She's in it. Ian Bustard, who I've never worked with before, but I think has performed previously.
He has, he has.
And who's a terrific actor, and Mike Mackenzie. So Ian plays the young Paolozzi, and Mike plays the older Paolozzi. And I think they do have, interestingly, a passing resemblance to the artist at both those stages in his life, and indeed to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been quite interesting. And yeah, I mean, it's always a challenge, I think, portraying real people, because you feel a responsibility to the actual person, but you're also conscious that you've got to make it creative. Yeah, and it's a story in the end. It's a story that we're presenting on stage. So they've got that sort of fine line to tread, but they seem to be doing a great job.
Yeah.